on their cameras too, so you'll see.
Did he threaten you or anything?
Nah, I never talked to him.
Okay. No contact.
Never talked to him. Thank you, Jesus. Nah, I didn't get out the car. I didn't talk to him. None of that. It's just the point of harassment. People.
More drama in Dolton tonight. The state agency that regulates local law enforcement in Illinois says Mayor Tiffany Henyard's handpicked police chief is not right now legally qualified to run the department or even serve as an officer.
Do you live in your town?
Nope.
No?
He's one of them YouTubers that just like, how can I say it? Jump up on.
What began as a routine town hall meeting in the quiet suburb of Dolton, Illinois, quickly spiraled into chaos. The scene turned intense as Mayor Tiffany Henyard was captured on camera amid heated arguments, accusations, and public outbursts, leaving the community in shock. The footage, which has since gone viral, highlights Henyard's controversial leadership style and allegations of power misuse. Outrage has spread, both locally and beyond, with many questioning her ability to lead Dolton, a town already grappling with its own challenges. The dramatic incident has sparked widespread debate over the mayor's suitability for office.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard says she is running for re-election. She made the announcement on social media to inbox her. Henyard says she is endorsing a new board, but not announcing who they are just yet, instead promising to name them later this month. Henyard is under investigation by the FBI for alleged misconduct.
What was meant to be a routine town hall meeting in Dolton quickly descended into chaos as tensions flared the moment Mayor Tiffany Henyard took the podium. Witnesses describe heated exchanges almost immediately, though the exact catalyst for the confrontation remains unclear. Some speculate the tension stemmed from recent accusations against Henyard, including claims of financial mismanagement and abuse of power. In the video, Henyard can be seen raising her voice, ignoring questions, and responding angrily to community members who voiced concerns about her leadership. The crowd's frustration grew as Henyard's defensive, dismissive attitude only seemed to escalate the situation. Her administration had already faced criticism from both officials and citizens, but rather than address the complaints, Henyard's responses appeared to inflame the crowd further, making the situation even more volatile.
Works in South Suburban Dolton at the village board meeting tonight. Embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard spoke out after public comments addressing respect in the meeting.
You have to give respect and word of speak. A lot of you come to this mic talking about nothing. And when I say nothing, you're talking about Tiffany Henyard.
The mood at the Dolton Town Hall became increasingly volatile as tensions escalated. According to reports, several locals protested, demanding answers from Mayor Tiffany Henyard regarding alleged immoral decisions. Some members of the community agreed, with local trustees accusing her of acting recklessly and disregarding the town's best interests. While the incident shocked some, many Dolton residents were not entirely surprised by Henyard's combative response. She loudly dismissed critics and challenged anyone questioning her actions, leading to a chaotic back and forth that deepened feelings of mistrust. Since taking office, Henyard has faced mounting criticism and allegations surrounding her leadership. Accusations of financial mismanagement, corruption, and an autocratic style of governance have dogged her administration. One of the most significant points of contention is her alleged misappropriation of public funds. Reports suggest that municipal funds earmarked for community development and essential services have either been misallocated or gone unaccounted for. Local trustees claim Henyard has redirected funds toward personal projects while neglecting more pressing community needs. With infrastructure and public services still in disrepair, Dolton residents are now asking, where are the town's funds really going? These ongoing allegations have further fueled calls for accountability and change.
You really are fans of mine, and I appreciate that, because normally you will come up here and you'll talk about the business as relates to our village, but not one of you talk about any business.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard of Dolton, Illinois, is facing mounting criticism and serious allegations following a chaotic town hall meeting that has since gone viral. The incident, which has sparked widespread outrage and concern, has exposed not only Henyard's combative behavior, but also deeper issues surrounding her leadership style, financial management, and governance. In addition to accusations of financial mismanagement, Henyard is accused of fostering a culture of intimidation within Dolton's government. Several trustees and local officials have alleged that she used her power to silence dissent, even accusing her of blackmailing those who disagreed with her policies. This culture of intimidation, according to critics, has created a toxic environment where debate and constructive criticism are quashed in favor of maintaining control. The allegations have been compounded by a string of recent lawsuits filed against Henyard adding further strain to an already embattled administration. The now infamous video from the town hall meeting, which has rapidly spread across social media and news platforms, shows Henyard engaging in heated exchanges with both residents and local trustees. Her behavior has been widely described as belligerent and hostile, particularly towards individuals questioning her actions. In one particularly alarming moment, Henyard is seen visibly upset and dismissing criticism from a trustee who raised concerns about potential misallocation of city funds. When the trustee attempted to address the issue, Henyard allegedly yelled, "You don't know what you're talking about," and demanded that they sit down. This moment, captured on camera, has become a focal point for critics, who see it as proof of Henyard's contemptuous attitude towards both accountability and democratic processes. This combative stance, critics argue, is emblematic of Henyard's overall leadership style, which has been accused of being distant, unapproachable, and unyielding. Residents and local officials have expressed frustration with her inability or unwillingness to engage in productive dialogue. The incident has deepened the divide between Henyard and many of Dolton's citizens, with numerous people claiming that she is more focused on maintaining power than serving the public. James Walters, a prominent member of the Dolton Council, was among the first to speak out following the incident. Walters condemned Henyard's behavior, stating, "This is not how a leader should behave. The mayor's role is to unite us, not to divide us." He went on to criticize her failure to interact positively with the community, noting that her tendency to escalate conflicts rather than seek solutions had only made the situation worse. Walters' comments reflect the sentiments of many Dolton residents, who now view Henyard as an ineffective and divisive leader. The town hall incident, coupled with ongoing accusations of financial mismanagement, has fueled a growing movement for accountability. Henyard's administration has been accused of misappropriating public funds, with some reports suggesting that money earmarked for community development and vital services has been either misused or left unaccounted for. Local trustees claim that Henyard has redirected these funds towards personal projects, further exacerbating the town's already strained financial situation. The lack of transparency surrounding these financial issues has led many to question where Dolton's funds are actually going, particularly as the town continues to struggle with deteriorating infrastructure and neglected public services. Following the incident, the hashtag #HenyardMeltdown quickly gained traction online, with hundreds of comments pouring in from outraged residents and concerned viewers across the country. Some Dolton residents have expressed disbelief at Henyard's behavior, while others have gone as far as calling for her resignation. How can we have faith in a leader who is incapable of responding to straightforward inquiries from her own constituents? One social media user wrote. Another said Henyard's actions were masterful in arrogance and demanded she step down from her position. The general sentiment on social media has been overwhelmingly critical, with many calling for her to be held accountable for what they see as a blatant disregard for the community. Political pundits have also weighed in, with some drawing comparisons between Henyard's actions and broader concerns about transparency and accountability in municipal government. Some commentators suggest that the incident could serve as a turning point for Dolton, potentially galvanizing the community to demand higher standards from their elected representatives. In the aftermath of the town hall meeting, Dolton's residents and trustees are now calling for a formal investigation into Henyard's conduct. Several trustees have indicated that they may push for an inquiry into her alleged misuse of public funds and power. Legal experts have also weighed in, noting that if it is proven legal panacea, Henyard used her position to silence critics or mismanaged public resources, she could face significant legal consequences. The fallout from this incident is far from over, and the pressure on Henyard's administration is likely to intensify as further investigations and calls for accountability continue to grow.
Several agenda items still haven't been touched. Tonight's meeting, as is par for the course, has consisted of a tug-of-war between Mayor Tiffany Henyard and several.
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, is facing increasing scrutiny and public backlash following a series of events that have called her leadership into question. What began as a routine town hall meeting has spiraled into a scandal that has captivated local, regional, and even national attention. Henyard's combative behavior, ongoing accusations of financial mismanagement, and controversial decision-making have sparked outrage among residents and officials alike, leading to calls for her resignation, investigations into her actions, and even a possible recall petition that could fundamentally shift the political landscape of Dolton. The chaos that erupted during Dolton's town hall meeting on the specific date that this petition was issued has been widely described as a turning point in Mayor Henyard's troubled tenure. The town hall, which was supposed to provide a forum for residents and city officials to discuss important community issues, quickly devolved into a spectacle of angry exchanges and accusations. The footage from the meeting, which has since gone viral, shows Henyard engaging in what many have described as belligerent and dismissive behavior. According to eyewitnesses and reports from those who attended, Henyard appeared defensive and combative from the moment she took the podium. The incident became particularly heated when a local trustee raised concerns about alleged financial mismanagement and the misallocation of public funds. Rather than addressing the concerns in a constructive manner, Henyard reportedly yelled at the trustee, telling them, "You don't know what you're talking about," and demanded that they sit down. This outburst was not an isolated incident. Henyard's refusal to engage with her critics, combined with her hostile responses, left many community members feeling alienated and dismissed. The video footage, which showed Henyard raising her voice and failing to provide clear answers to straightforward questions, has since become a symbol of her leadership style, one marked by hostility, defensiveness, and a seeming disregard for the principles of open government and accountability. The town hall incident has triggered a wave of public outrage, with many Dolton residents and political observers arguing that Henyard's behavior demonstrated a profound lack of respect for her constituents. The mayor's inability to respond to basic questions or address concerns in a civil manner has raised serious doubts about her suitability to lead a town already facing significant challenges, including budget deficits, crumbling infrastructure, and ongoing social issues. The controversy surrounding Henyard is not limited to her behavior at the town hall meeting. Over the past few months, the mayor has been the subject of a growing number of allegations related to financial mismanagement, corruption, and abuse of power. One of the most significant allegations is that Henyard has used her position to divert public funds for personal projects, leaving critical community services underfunded. Reports suggest that some of Dolton's municipal funds, which were supposed to be allocated for community development and essential services, have been either misallocated or remain unaccounted for. Local trustees have alleged that Henyard has used her control over the town's finances to fund projects that primarily benefit her political brand rather than the community at large. These accusations of financial impropriety are compounded by Henyard's continued refusal to provide transparency or offer any meaningful explanations for how public money is being spent. One of the most controversial instances involved the creation of oversized promotional banners bearing Henyard's name and image. These banners, which many believe were designed to promote her political brand and boost her reelection campaign, were funded by taxpayer dollars. Despite widespread criticism, Henyard defended the banners, claiming they were a legitimate use of public funds. However, critics argue that the banners were little more than an expensive exercise in self-promotion at the expense of Dolton's residents. The situation worsened when it was revealed that Henyard had used public money to fund these banners, even as the town faced critical infrastructure issues and the allocation of resources for community services remained a concern. The public outcry over these banners is just one example of the broader dissatisfaction with Henyard's leadership and the growing perception that she is more interested in bolstering her personal brand than in serving the needs of the community. In addition to the financial mismanagement allegations, Henyard has been accused of creating a toxic political climate in Dolton, one marked by intimidation and the suppression of dissent. Several local trustees have accused her of using her power to threaten and manipulate those who disagree with her policies. These allegations have been described as attempts to stifle debate and ensure that any opposition to her leadership is silenced, often through coercion or outright blackmail. Henyard's tactics, according to critics, have created a culture of fear within Dolton's government, where those who challenge the mayor risk retaliation. Some local officials have claimed that they were threatened with dismissal or other forms of punishment if they spoke out against Henyard's policies or raised concerns about her administration's practices. This alleged abuse of power has only added fuel to the fire, further eroding Henyard's credibility and support among both officials and residents. The mayor's combative approach to dissent was on full display during the town hall meeting, where she reportedly raised her voice and dismissed questions from the public. Many residents, already frustrated by her leadership style, felt further alienated by her behavior. Instead of addressing their concerns or acknowledging their frustrations, Henyard instead escalated the conflict, deepening the rift between herself and the community she is supposed to serve. As the controversy surrounding Henyard continues to unfold, a growing number of Dolton residents and political leaders are calling for greater accountability. Some have suggested that the only way to address the crisis of leadership in Dolton is through a recall petition, which would allow the people of Dolton to vote on whether Henyard should remain in office. A recall effort, if successful, could lead to a dramatic political upheaval in Dolton. It would not only give the community a chance to remove a leader they see as unfit, but also send a powerful message about the importance of transparency, accountability, and good governance. While the legal process for initiating a recall petition can be complex and time-consuming, the growing frustration with Henyard's leadership suggests that the push for a recall could gain significant momentum in the coming weeks. For many residents, the town hall incident was a wake-up call, a clear indication that Henyard's leadership style is no longer tenable. Her failure to listen to the concerns of her constituents and her apparent disregard for democratic principles have left many people questioning her ability to effectively govern. A recall petition, if successful, would represent a significant shift in Dolton's political landscape and could set the stage for new leadership, committed to restoring transparency, accountability, and community engagement. Despite the challenges and controversies, some residents remain hopeful that the current crisis could lead to positive change. Community leaders and activists are already working on initiatives to address what they perceive to be systemic problems within Dolton's government. These initiatives include campaigns to encourage transparency in local governments, calls for regular financial audits, and demands for more open and accessible forums where residents can voice their concerns without fear of retaliation. Shayla Morrison, a longtime resident of Dolton, spoke about the importance of this moment for the community. This could be our wake-up call. We need leaders who listen to us and respect our voices, not dismiss us. Morrison, like many others, believes that Dolton has an opportunity to change its trajectory if the community comes together to demand better leadership. Activists and community groups have begun organizing around these issues, holding meetings and public forums to discuss how to address the problems facing the town. Many residents are focused on pushing for greater financial oversight and transparency in the budgeting process, as well as demanding that city officials be held accountable for their actions. The goal, according to these activists, is not just to remove Henyard from office, but to create a government that truly serves the needs of the people. As the political turmoil continues to unfold, there are also growing concerns about potential legal consequences for Henyard. Several trustees have indicated that they may push for a formal investigation into the mayor's alleged misuse of public funds and abuse of power. Legal experts have noted that if it is proven that Henyard used her position to manipulate public resources or silence critics, she could face significant legal repercussions, including charges of corruption or misconduct in office. One of the most concerning aspects of Henyard's leadership has been her apparent disregard for established procedures and the rule of law. In particular, her attempts to fire and install police chiefs without following the proper protocols have raised serious questions about her respect for governance processes. Recently, Henyard faced criticism for attempting to appoint Ronald Burge as police chief without the required background checks or approval from the town's board. Kirsch, who had previously served as police chief in Dolton, was not qualified to assume the role due to the lack of proper paperwork and training certifications. Henyard's decision to bypass the usual vetting process has raised alarms about her leadership style and her willingness to disregard safety and legal requirements. In a letter addressed to Henyard, the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board rebuked her decision to allow Burge to serve as police chief without completing the necessary background checks and certification requirements. The letter emphasized that appointing someone to a critical position such as police chief without proper screening not only violated protocol, but also posed a significant safety risk to the community. The fact that Burge was allowed to carry a firearm and wear a police uniform without being properly certified was seen as a serious lapse in judgment, with potentially dangerous consequences. As Henyard's administration continues to unravel, Dolton finds itself at a crossroads. The town is deeply divided, with some residents still standing behind a mayor, while others demand change. For many,